Jai Sadgurudeo. Good morning to all of you. My name is Srirang and I have joined this satsang from Cary, North Carolina. Before we begin this session, I would like to bow down and offer my prayers at the holy feet of Lord Sadgurudeo. I request everyone to close your eyes and just stay focused on the prayer. बार बार वंदन करूं सदगुरुदेव हमार, यहाँ वहाँ सब ठाम में महिमा अपरंपार। शरण शरण मैं शरण हूँ, हे गुरु बंदी छोर। मोहे उबारो हे गुरु, यह सौ बार निहोर। Welcome again to this weekly English satsang organized by North America Institute of Vihangam Yoga. In the current times, our day-to-day life has become busy in fulfilling our physical and mental requirements and our social responsibilities. In this fast-paced routine life, the requirements of our soul are often forgotten. So first of all, I would like to congratulate each one of you for taking some time from your busy schedule to fulfill the requirements of our soul through this satsang. Okay, so now we will move on to the next part of satsang, where we are going to talk about Swarved Doha. Our spiritual journey is incomplete without satsang. Tatva, Gyaan, and experience are the two aspects of spirituality. And through this satsang, the discussions on the spiritual topics helps us understand Tatva Gyaan. So this segment basically will help us, gain more insights into Swarved. So for presenting today's topic, I would hand it over to Shudhanshu ji.
Thank you very much, Srirangji, for this opportunity of Seva. First of all, I'll put my prayers in the lotus feet of Master in just a minute. शरण शरण मैं शरण हूँ, हे गुरु बंदी छोड़। मोहे उबारो हे गुरु, यह सौ बार निहोर। जन अधीन वंदन करूं, केहि विधि की जैसेव। वार पार की गम नहीं, नमो नमो गुरुदेव। As just a few minutes back, our host Srirangji just mentioned that in today's session, we will see that how Vihangam Yoga journey is a journey which become ourself a better version of ourselves, and what Sarveda has to say about it. So if we, all of us have definitely read so many chapters in Swarved. If you see Swarved, entire Swarved is filled with so many couplets which talks about how to become a better version of ourselves. Actually, if you read Swarved, the core of Swarved is a journey of a soul. And on that journey, you will see how he is transforming. So I'll put one couplet, and further I will try to explain you how that actually happens in the Vihangam Yoga journey. About transformation, there are so many couplets, but I'm just putting one couplet, what is mentioned in Vihangam Yoga book Swarved, and we have already discussed it so many times in our satsang, and that is, सदाचार व्यभिचार से, मूरख से विद्वान, भोगी से योगी बने, फल सत्संग महान. So the journey of Vihangam Yoga Satsang is a journey of becoming Sadachari from Vyabhichari, a journey for becoming Gyani from Murak, and a journey from Bhogi to Yogi. So we'll see how Vihangam Yoga make that happen in our life. So here in this topic there are two main terms. One is yourself, ourself, and another is Vihangam Yoga. So how anyone can become a better version of themselves? To become a better version, the basic necessity is the more you know about yourself, the better you will become. So is it right that we know everything about ourselves? Are we aware who we are? Are we physically aware about ourselves? Are we intellectually, mentally aware about ourselves? So Vihangam Yoga does that. What Vihangam Yoga does? So if I go in the solution, which I will come later, that will explain that how Vihangam Yoga helps in, knowing yourself better. So for awareness, how much we know ourselves, what is important. So we all know what is happening right now. We all are running here and there all the time. Why we are running here and there? We are running for happiness. We keep running on so many stuff. But what happens when we receive that thing? We experience, this is not what I was looking for. We again running for the another stuff. Okay, this is not what I was looking for. Then the next one, and the next one, and the next one. So what happens in this process? In this process, it happens that we know what I want. We know that we need something, but what we need, we don't know. And this continuous here and there running, that brings frustration, that brings depression, that brings sadness in our life. Why? Because we are running for something here and there, and that is not giving us what we are actually looking for. In present scenario, in present world scenario, the situation is more, you can say, intense. Why? Because earlier you had less things to go behind. Now, in the fast-paced world, where you have internet, where you have social media, where you have plenty of subjects, in other words, I can say, where you have plenty of items in the menu, you have so many options. These options are actually a fuel for you to run at so many places. Our patience level is decreased so low. Why it decreased? Because we have so many options. We have to keep running here and there, here and there. We cannot wait even one option to finish to see is it really needed or not, right? Just an example, 15 years, 10 years back, you had a patience to sit and watch all the ads which was coming on the TV. Do you have now that patience? Even when you watch the YouTube, in 5 seconds, the 5 second, 10 seconds ad is irritating you. You purchase a subscription, so you have to skip that ad. So you have so many options that you can't even wait for that particular option to finish and you run on the another subject. So what I'm trying to say with all these things, that we are so much indulged, we are so much involved in the options what we are seeing outside, that we are not even aware that let's see inside and try to understand what you actually need. Doesn't will it will help you? If you just look inside and try to see what is actually needed, you don't have to run on all those subjects. You will be aware and you will go and just pick that thing what you are looking for. How easy the life will be. So, what is happening? You are running behind all the options without knowing what is needed and what is actually a better solution. Look inside, figure out what is needed, and go for it. And that's the looking inside that is being provided by Vihangam Yoga. Vihangam Yoga starts from the physical level. There are 5 states, 5 levels in Vihangam Yoga. So when you start the Vihangam Yoga journey, what happens? You will start becoming more aware about yourself. You will start becoming aware about your body. You will start becoming aware about your intellect, how you are thinking. Then you will start becoming aware about your mind, how it works, why you are looking for something. And then it will come to you. You will start becoming aware about you. So, whatever we are behaving in this world, 90% our reaction or 90% things which is happening around us is actually because how we are responding to that particular thing. And how we are responding to that particular thing is actually depends on how we understand that thing and then how we process that thing. Understanding and processing, these two things are the core behind our reaction. And Vihangam Yoga actually engineer these two process. So how Vihangam Yoga does that? So there are 3 pillars in Vihangam Yoga: Seva, Sadhana, and Satsang. सदगुरु सेवा हरि भजन और सत्संग विचार, यह संयम नित कीजिए, तीन सार संसार. So Vihangam Yoga gives these 3 pillars, Seva, Sadhana, and Satsang, and what it actually does, it transforms your life. How it transforms your life? So see, let's talk about these 3 items one by one. Ego, that goes from Seva. The Seva, that is very important, the core thing, what it actually does. When you perform Seva, your ego goes away. And when your ego goes away, it helps you to become a better version of yourself. How it helps to become a better version of yourself? Because right now your knowledge about yourself is not a true knowledge. And that misinformation is the reason of your ego. Let's see how it is. What is the awareness of yourself about you? You know yourself by your ethnicity, by your knowledge, by your economic status, right? These are the basic elements which actually create our identity in our mind, and that gives us a feeling of pride, or you can say later that transforms in ego. Oh, I am rich. Oh, I am more knowledgeable than this person. Oh, my caste is bigger than this person, and so and so and so. What Seva does? Seva slowly remove all these illusions, you can say. The Mithya Gyaan. It removes all these things. And then once all these, impurities within us, all this misinformation about us within us start removing, then then the curiosity within us rises. Okay, who we are. If I am not these, then who I am. And then the second pillar comes in picture, that is satsang. And what satsang does? Satsang mention us that who we are, what Vihangam Yoga says about ourselves. And then whatever we receive in satsang, we practice that in sadhana, the third pillar of Vihangam Yoga. And we start realizing that, okay, this is the truth. So, what happened in this process? In this process, we became more aware about ourselves. And once we become more aware about ourselves, we also become aware about what actually needed in my life. Till now, what was happening? We were running here and there in all the physical things of the world. Swamiji says in Swarved, प्राकृत सुख जग भोग कर फिर वह शांति न आए सुख शांति वह कवन है अंतर चाह बनाए. So like this there are so many couplets which actually create vibrations within you and helps you to know what is actually needed, and that creates a thought process within you. With this subject I always says that Vihangam Yoga acts as a lighthouse within you. I just want to share a small incident, a small sanskaran which happened just 2 days ago with me. Uh, so my wife went to a place where there was some mehendi ceremony was happening, and as today is the festival of Karwa Chauth, first of all, happy Karwa Chauth to all of you. So she went there for the mehendi ceremony. So all the ladies who were organizing that, they were few of them were associated with some other meditation institutions, and few were not a part of meditation. So I was sitting outside, but my wife was there, and during when they were applying mehendi, she started the talk about Vihangam Yoga and meditation and all. So one lady came who was not practicing the meditation in her life and said, "Why it is necessary? Why it is necessary in life? I'm living my life. The person who don't do meditation doesn't live their life. They live their life. What's the problem with it? Why it is needed?" And uh, my wife said one line which actually hit me differently when I heard that. She said, "See, there is no difference. Actually, it's not that if you don't practice meditation in your life, you will not live your life. You can live your life. Take it as an example. There is one person who is educated, and there is another person who don't want to study, who don't know how to write, how to read. It doesn't mean that a person who doesn't write, doesn't read, will not live his life. He will live his life, definitely. If he has money, definitely he will enjoy his life as well. But what is the difference? The difference is whenever both are going on their journey, the person who is educated, he will see all the boards, he will see okay where to go. He know his path. His education gives his a sight to see how to go, where to go. But the person who is not educated, what's his status? He's ignorant. He don't know all those messages, whatever is present on the path of life, that is not helping him. He needs someone who understand those messages and help him to proceed in his life. So that difference is being caused by the education. And that education in the journey of life is Vihangam Yoga. So when she explained me this, it really hit me hard. Wow, this is actually defines you. What Vihangam Yoga changes in your life, how it transforms your life. And as I understand, it's a lighthouse of your journey. Wherever you go, wherever, so each and every moment we live in the knowledge of Vihangam Yoga, it actually helps us to see it in a different perspective, how Vihangam Yoga understands this. So Vihangam Yoga journey actually transforms our life in such a way that we start seeing things differently. You start seeing things not from a sight of bhogi, but from a sight of yogi. And when you start seeing it from a sight of yogi, your thought process during any of the incident will not be based on result. It will be based on the impact of the thing, why you are doing this. So the core of Gita, what we always say, karmanyeva adhikarasya ma phaleshu kadachana, do your work without, you know, interacting with the result of it. That starts happening through you can say, the knowledge of Vihangam Yoga. So this is a very vast topic. We can keep going and going, and there are hundreds of couplets in Vihangam Yoga book Swarved, which talks so many things about life, which actually transforms your life. So today the time is limited, so I think I'm crossing my time, so I'll conclude here. But definitely going forward, when we will discuss on other topics, you will find that each couplets of Swarved talks about so many things which is actually transforming your life. Each couplets are life transforming. But today we are just trying to see overall picture that how it is transforming us. So with this, I'll conclude my explanation. Thank you very much, Srirangji, for this opportunity. Over to you, Jai Shri Gurudev.
Thank you, Sudhanshuji. Very beautiful explanation of the Doha and overall, philosophy that Swarved puts forward. I really like the explanation about, how a person who meditates versus who doesn't meditate, giving a real life example that, a person can compare. That was very powerful. Anybody can understand the difference between educated and, uneducated person and how their life is different. And when we actually try to compare that with person, it is like, in physical world being illiterate versus literate, and on your spiritual journey, being able to meditate and understanding the science. That is very powerful statement. So thank you for sharing that. And Nehaji, I really appreciate, um, your thought process in coming up with that, explanation on the fly. So, really appreciate that. So we can now open this forum for questions. Uh, if you have any questions on this Doha or any other spiritual topic, we can discuss about it.
Jai Sadgurudeo. Good morning to all. Thank you very much for Sudhanshuji and Shirangi for the meditation. Regarding the meditation, actually, a lot of people do ask that question, which Sudhanshuji was saying that what difference does it make, right? Meditation, if you do meditation or don't meditation. And like you said, it's a very vast topic. So, but let's say if you have to deliver somebody a deeper meaning, why to meditate and why is a very vast topic. But let's say, what is meditation? Then I simply tell people that, hey, imagine that there's a stream of water that is flowing, and it's a dusty water, and it is very turbulent, and so there's no way you can see the bottom of the stream. But imagine if you remove the turbulence by some means, and then you clean the dustiness of the water, then you can very clearly see the pebbles at the bottom of the stream. So meditation is the same thing for your mind and your soul, where there is a turbulence. The mind is always moving from one subject to the other subject, because that is the nature of the mind. And then at the same time, it is dusty, which means it is covered, it is blanketed, it is impure. So when people do meditation as a matter of physical act, it never works for them. They just get to relaxation and a little bit of a feel good factor. But then that only goes as long as a person goes to a gym. There's really no difference, because even going to the gym makes you feel better. So the meditation may do very similar effect, but only as long as you continue to do that. But there's no evolution. But when we do the purification of the mind and the calming of the mind, then that is the real essence of meditation. And that's where, but then the other thing is the purification and calming has a science behind that. So without understanding the science, even that is, you don't even know, how do I purify myself and how do I calm myself? So then you have to go to the satsang to listen to this. And now when you go to the satsang, then you have to have selflessness within you, a service mind. Because a lot of people have service mind, but only during the holiday, during the Thanksgiving time, when the donation and charity begins. So, and the rest of the time, they are basically in the pursuit of happiness and rat race and all of that. So as you can see, that is very much like interconnected. So the service mind is that it is always in the service mind. So I think, again, it comes down to, again, the seva satsang sadhana. So without all three in a holistic approach, just one in itself will not last longer. So I think when we indulge ourselves and when we begin to understand and involve ourselves in all these three in a very holistic way, then it begins to become very, very clear. And so that was just my take on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Niranjanji. Anybody else would like to put forward their thoughts or have any other question?
Jai Sadgurudeo, everyone. This is Shikha. So I have an observation. Sudhanshu ji was saying, and I've heard this from a lot of people, that, when we do seva, it sort of lowers our ego. But on the contrary, my observation is that when you are doing seva, you somehow get closer to the satta. When you are getting closer to the satta, I have seen people have more ego. I do not want to call out names, that because this was back in India, but I have seen, I have the power, I decide. So I have seen people having more ego. So if somebody could help me understand how does seva eliminate ego, that would really help. Yes, Sadhguru.
Ji, Jashodev Shikaji, very, very good question. And I will definitely request other seniors to please help. But let me share what my views on it. When you start doing seva, definitely it starts eliminating ego within you, and you start getting towards. I mean, you getting transformed for the eligibility of that adhyatmic path, that the spiritual path, right? But slowly, what happens when you proceed ahead? You are keep doing seva. You are so the result of that is you are started getting bigger seva, bigger responsibilities, right? And when you start getting the bigger responsibility, then what always says that it comes with bigger exams as well. And at that moment, it depends how prepared you are. Are you passed on that exam or failed on that exam? And your performance on that exam actually decides your future journey. So when you get a bigger seva, definitely you will have some specific power to perform that seva. And when you get that power has been given to you to perform that particular seva. But if you misuse it, what happens actually? You fall down from there. And that's what your journey start going down from there. But if you absorbed it, if you utilized it in your seva, you don't allow that power to override your mental understanding, intellectual understanding. If you are with seva bhav always, then you will pass that exam. You will go for the next level of seva as well. So rightly said that when you start proceeding ahead, you will see that there are few sevaks who got the bigger opportunity. But at that moment, it's not possible that everyone, pass the exam which happens at that level. And that's the reason that, everyone cannot uh, handle the power. And that is a test. That is a test of your spiritual journey. You fall from there. You further try to rectify yourself. You further works on those, you can say, impurities within you. You further rise. Again, the test will happen. If you passed, you will proceed ahead. If you're not, then you will again fall down and you again have to work on it. So, physically, when we see it, definitely we understand that, okay, it's raising the ego within that person. But if you see from that person prospect, it is a journey for himself. If he is learning from his mistake, he will proceed ahead. If not, then he will keep struggling there itself, falling down, raising up again at that point, again falling down, and then it keeps repeating. That's how I saw it within Vihangam Yoga. I will definitely request anyone else to share their views, how they see this. Thank you.
So, my observation again, an extended part of this whole analysis, was that from time to time, self retrospection is very important. Just trying to see, okay, whatever I'm doing, is it really seva bhav or is it my ego creeping in? That is one of the ways I think we can definitely bring that down. One of the other things that I analyzed was this is why it is important not just to be lopsided in seva or satsang or sadhana. When all the three go hand in hand, somehow if your ego is pulling up, your awareness that comes with meditation makes it come down. Then you are more aware of what is.
Shikhar, you lost your audio. It looks like Shikhar is having some audio issues or connection issues.
So, Shriranji, Monica Desai, Jai Sadgurudeo. Before Shikhaji joins back, I have a small question for Sudhanshuji as well. Is it okay for me to ask, or we can wait for Shikhaji?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. Jai Sadgurudeo, everyone, and happy Sunday. Sudhanshuji, I really like the Sansmaran you shared with that happened while you and Nehaji were at the place where there were Mehndi services being provided. In fact, when I heard that, it reminded me of another situation, actually, similar situation I was in just last night. Though it was not a similar setting, but very close. I was attending a Diwali celebration going in my neighborhood. I had not attended in many years, but I wanted to attend it just to get some to be involved in the community
Hey, Rhea.
as hello.
Special also.
Ji, please go ahead. I
Ji,
think
ji.
because his mic is unmuted. Okay, please go ahead.
Okay. Yes. So Sudhanshuji, what happened was, although I know few people there, but I was not in connection for many years due to my own limitations. But yesterday was a great event, and I was part of it. And I had just this notion, like before, I was in mixed minds whether I should go or not go, because I am, sometimes I avoid going to these groups because I don't know many people, and I want to do prachar of Vihangam Yoga, and if I cannot do it, then what is the point? Like I'm trying to think on in the terms of seva, but what happened was a few days ago. When the registration was going on, I was just thinking in terms of prachar only, and somehow I got inspiration while I was praying to Sadgurudeo, and I got inspiration from Swamiji itself, that made me to go on this event. So I was basically planned, I had some pre-notions, I was planned that if given an opportunity, I will talk about Vihangam Yoga. So something like that was in my mind, and I went ahead. So what happened was, I went and as you know, don't know many people. I went and sat there, and in a chair, and my daughter was also next to me, and there was one person sitting just opposite to me, like behind me, and didn't know that person. So I just said hello, and we started the conversation just on casual note. So that few minutes of talking actually uh, went into just casual talks, but turned into a spiritual conversation. So I was very happy actually, because this is what I had been thinking for many days, that if given an opportunity, I will talk about Vihangam Yoga, and I will talk about my guru and about the knowledge. So before I knew it, before I could even settle in, few minutes, the conversation started. And then the lady also was very interested in talking about this, but uh, before i before I could even start, and she said, she went on saying that she is following a path, from not really following the path, but she's been connected to some spiritual practice that her father started, and her whole family is involved. But as a person, she was a seeker. She's been a seeker, like similar to my story. She went through a lot of different settings of the spiritual settings, and she read the Bible, being a Hindu, and lots of things she was saying, because we both belong to, like, we both studied, got raised in a Catholic setting. So we were talking about that, and like when we were just conversing, she herself, she said that this is something she got when she was born, and she's been doing that, and in her practice she has to do dhyan and kirtan. So there I actually felt like I need to talk to her about seva and satsang, because in our journey we have three pillars, whereas she was more talking only about dhyan, yoga, and something like kirtan. So I spoke a little bit only about our journey, because I was a little bit hesitant, since she said that she's already into something and following something. But regardless, that conversation went on, right? But the only thing that I wanted clarity on from you, Sudhanshuji, is when she said that there are so many practices, like when I mentioned about art of living and my experience with Brahma Kumaris and stuff like that, and even idol worship, ISKCON, we were talking about everything. So I said, she said that there are so many different things, and in every path there are different levels. I spoke a little bit about mind control as well. I said that in the, the I have been following for 5 years, and I can say that how my mind used to be earlier, and from what I am right now, I see a difference. I can see things more closely, not only from my perspective but from the perspective of others, and I've tried to raise myself from that level and go beyond. So the mind control and elevating yourself from your own thought process has helped me achieve things in my life that I did not have earlier. So there she said there are so many different practices, and in every practices there are so many different levels and stages of meditation. Even art of living starts and then it raises oneself to another level, and so on. And then there I did not have a direct answer to give her, but in my mind I was just my thought was like I was remembering Sadguru, and I was thinking how Sadguru, please guide me to uh, to the next step, like how I can continue the conversation. I was kind of stuck there, Sudhanshuji, but in my mind there just while I was thinking, I was in a lot of emotions there, and I was just thinking that maybe it is guru to shishya parampara. Like I got attached to Vihangam Yoga more, maybe because of my past relationship, or my past journey with Vihangam Yoga itself brought me into this, having left so many like different paths where I never was fully involved, or doing it out of my complete satisfaction. I was brought here, but maybe for her, her path is the right path. And this going inside of me while she was just talking, then she's also kept quiet after a few seconds, and then I could not actually carry on. So can you please, Sudhanshu ji, tell me, like it was it right for me to stop there, just accepting what her path was, and accepting what my path is, was it okay, or could I have said something that made have would have made a bit of difference? So I hope you understand what I'm trying to ask you. So this is what I wanted to share and
Ji, ji.
seek your advice.
No, definitely. Others are here. I'll request their views as well. Uh, but what I understand and what my feeling is, it's always good to you know give respect to their views. And whenever we discuss about meditation, spirituality, and Vihangam Yoga to someone, uh, I have two tasks. My first task is to say that what Vihangam Yoga uh, ideology, what Vihangam Yoga concept says about it, what is the view of Vihangam Yoga on this topic, and then also try to understand what they are practicing. Okay, these two things we usually do. But at the end, whenever I'm in discussion with any person who is following some other meditation practice, my intent is not to win a discussion. My intent is just to analyze, does he looking for something in his meditation journey which is not getting fulfilled on his current practice? Is it something, some question, something for which he is still looking for? If yes, then we can share that what Vihangam Yoga says about it. If no, then even you're saying something will not change anyone you can say, understanding and thought about their practice, because that's not wrong. Nothing is wrong, right? In Vihangam Yoga as well, we heard about so many path of spirituality, correct? And everyone takes you from your physical level to certain extent. And when you will reach at that level, then you will realize, okay, I am now at this point, I need some help. Then you will start looking for something. So if, let us suppose, someone is in the starting journey of some XYZ meditation practice, and someone is in the starting journey of Vihangam Yoga meditation. In the start journey, they may not feel the difference. Why they will not feel the difference? Because on their journey as well, there are so many things they have to achieve, right? So at that point, it's not something what they are feeling that, okay, I want to know this, but I'm not getting it here. They are getting it at that moment of time. So I feel, what is my understanding is, that moment is not the moment for them to understand the difference, right? So it is, that's how I understand that in Prachar, we should have uh, the respect of their journey, and just try to understand how their journey is going on. And someday, sometime, if they will, need to know at some point that, okay, what Vihangam Yoga says about it, then we can say, okay, yeah, this is what Vihangam Yoga is. And if they further want to know, then they proceed with the Vihangam Yoga journey. So the path of spirituality is always wide open uh, for discussion, for understanding each other's thought, and that's how we should proceed ahead with Prachar. That's my thought, but I'll request. I see Lalmani Bhaiya is in the group. Yogesh Bhaiya is here, so please share your views if you think something differently, please.
I think I would like to add 2 points. So one thing that I recently heard Vijayji saying is, we should not, cannot, and should not force anyone to change their path, right? Because look at it from different perspective. If someone else is asking us, that their path is better, we will not be in position to, honor that, or to have a fruitful conversation, or productive conversation with that person. So we have to respect their choices. Our job is to just inform that there is something else, and if you are willing to give it a try, you can. But that is the extent of what we can do, right? We cannot force them, or we cannot say that you must try, or we should not try to change the trajectory of their path. So just giving them information is what we have to do, because um, when we talk about this prachar activities, Bade Swamiji has already said that he has done the prachar, right? So our job is to just tap the souls and try to wake them up. If the knowledge is already given to them by Bade Swamiji, they will just wake up and make their own decision to join the right path. So I think that is what I feel, that our job is to just inform people. We cannot insist them on making a decision. That is what I feel. And then again, everybody has to follow their own journey. I mean, in fact, you shared your experience, Monica ji, right? You tried various different things, and then finally you made a decision. So similarly, the other person has to go through the same process. We cannot sometimes simply ask someone else to make decisions based on our own experience, right? They have to experience themselves, so that they make that informed decision, right? And I think that is what we have to keep in mind, that just our job is to inform. We are just the messengers of this Swamiji's message. How that message is taken by other person, it's between Swamiji and that person.
Ji, agreed, absolutely. That is right. Actually that I had kept in that in my conversation, and I stopped at that point where I knew, like, I cannot have this discussion because she's already on a path, and I respected that. But the good thing was that it seemed like she missing on something when she mentioned about kirtan, and she said that when I asked her, so do you have any group here, or are you connected virtually with your group in India? Like, how are you managing that? Then she said that not many people, nobody is there from New Jersey, and some group is there from the Western Coast. So I don't get much kirtan. And after a few, and then I acknowledged that. I said, okay, that's good. I also mentioned that we have spiritual discourses in the weekends. If you ever feel the need, or and if you can let me know. You can just listen in if you would like. And then she didn't say anything, but yeah, after a few minutes she did mention that she wants to have meet me again, and we will go for a walk or something. So we just ended the conversation there. I said, yeah, sure. So I am hoping that I meet the person again, and if at all I feel the need, just like Sudhanshuji mentioned, that we need to analyze. This is a point that I will remember, that I will try to analyze and see, because she feels like she's been doing something for many years, but I still felt like there may be some need that she's still looking to fulfill. It could be kirtan, it could be satsang, it could be anything. So I was very happy when she said that she wants to meet and be in touch. The conversation although ended there, but I still see some possibility of having more conversations, and maybe we will know. This was just the first time I met the person. So maybe like Sudhanshuji, you mentioned that I might get an opportunity to analyze it further when I meet her next time. But thank you so much, both of you. It's helpful.
I wanted to comment on Shikhaji's question about the ego. Is Shikhaji on the line? Shikhaji? She's not there, looks like.
Yeah, looks like she had joined, but looks like she dropped off again.
Okay. Yeah, basically, I just wanted to say that we have to look at the ego, which is ahamkar, the origin of ego. Where does it originate from? The origin is mind, and so first is that the mind is where all the sadvikaras they emerge: kam, krodh, lobh, moh, mad, matsar. Mad is the gross and subtle form of ego. So that is why the process of devotion, the bhaja, service mind, is very important, because it's like saying that asking the criminal to whether he was guilty or not. So when we are saying that whether I have an ego or not, the same mind is asking the same question to itself, and it will never know. So that is why in the Shastras, and the recommendation is that we surrender to a Mahapurush. When we surrender to the Mahapurush, then they see the Aham in the person, which we cannot see. And that is how we surrender unto them. And as the humility and the dinata, the service mind towards the devotion and surrender deepens, then the Aham begins to dissolve. And this is what the Mahapurush says. This is exactly, I think, what Sudhanshuji was also saying from the Swarved. So whenever we talk about the ego, then we are the criminal, and as a criminal, we are asking whether I have committed a crime or not, and it is very, very hard to really get rid of that kind of a thought process. So that is why another main reason why the ego is the most difficult part of the spiritual progression, and that is where a lot of people, even the avadhutas who have done all adhyayas, Upanishads, Vedas, a lot of things adhyayas, but they're still missing this element. They cannot really reason like why surrender is so important. They think that they can really make a significant progress, and that is what happened with the Uddhav Gita. Just listen about the Uddhav Gita, where Uddhav was like pretty much totally realized person, one of the most knowledgeable, very close to Krishna, and but Krishna saw that he has everything, but he's missing the most important element, because he has the aham bhav of a Gyani. And that's when he sent him that, okay, Uddhav, he created some sort of a play and had him go to Vrindavan, to the gopis. And that's where he spent about 6 months or something. And that's where he learned the value of surrender and what the bhakti means. And then when he comes all in tears, and that's when he understood why Krishna had sent him there. So that is the way to look at the ego. And ego is a one English word, so it's very hard to kind of understand. But the ahamkar is one of the departments of mind. Among the 4 departments, this is one of the department. And apparently, this sits right on top of all the other departments. Now, the only thing that can go above between the soul and the aham is vivek. And that can only happen through satsang and swadhyay. And through that process, then the dinata can happen and surrender. So you can see that there's no disconnection at all. And Monica ji, like you were saying, it's not a question of tark vitark anymore. This is about clarity, clarification. So when I run into very similar kind of situations where somebody is doing bhajan, somebody is doing extreme puja, somebody is doing whatever, a love affair, long distance love affair with God, right? Like all virtual affair. And all kinds of things are there. And what a true devotee, he will basically pick on where they are and just tell them, okay, this is very much like somebody is in the high school and you are just telling the high schooler that, hey, you can actually potentially do a PhD program and you can then do residency program and then you'll become a surgeon if you want to become the surgeon. That's it. So it's not really about telling them enroll into Vihangam Yoga or enroll into something else. It is just telling them that that's great. You're already there. Now one just have to basically take the next step. And that's what, when Sanji was here, that was one of the questions, that no matter how much one does, you're adding many, many number of zeros. But without a 1 before the 0, it is still a 0. So hopefully that helps to give at least my perspective. And it will be good to hear others also. Thank you.
Okay, so if there are no more questions, I think we can proceed to the Shanti part.
Shriranji, sorry, do you have like few minutes?
Yeah, Diptiji, go ahead. Yes.
Thank you so much, Shriranji. So Sudhanshuji, I have a question. I think you also discussed the same line in your talk, and also I have seen in Chote Sarkar's code that we should do whatever is needed in our life. So can you just elaborate a bit what exactly, how we can figure out what exactly we need in our life? Though of course we know, we have family, we have children, like we have like a number of stuff, but how to chisel it out from all those a number of stuff. So that was my question, Sudhanshuji. Thank you so much.
Ji, Thank you so much, Shikaji. So let me just wrap it up in 1 minute. Uh, rightly said that Sansri mentioned it so many times. And when we further asked it how we will know about it, so the answer is very simple but difficult to implement, and that is to be more aware for each moment. The more, or in other words, you can say to be more present in the present moment, or to be more awakened in the present moment. So the more awakened we are, the more minutely we are observing the things around us, uh, the more minutely we are seeing the things happening around us. So what I understood, the more you go in the spirituality, in meditation, in seva, in satsang, you will start experiencing the things in more, you can say, detailed way or minute way. Uh, so the more awakened you are about the things happening around you, you will start knowing uh, that what actually needs to be done, or what uh, what is needed from your side. That's what I have observed around so many elevated souls. That's how uh, they live in their life. So this is what my understanding is, and it will come slowly. It's not like, so at some day it will start happening. Uh, right now, we will be awakened or at our own level, like whatever is our meditation or spiritual journey. So we can see the things as per that and try to execute it accordingly. And slowly, the more we will be, proceeding ahead in the spiritual journey, this enlightenment will become deeper and deeper, and we will be more closer to that sentence what Sansri always says. That's my thought. Thank you.
Ji, thank you so much, Sudhanshu ji. Thanks.
I just want to say something about that. Uh, I had been pondering over as well, and as Diptiji questioned, we all are in the same boat, that we have so many things to accomplish, so many things to do. The cycle goes on, and we are into doing karma, like creating more karma with our actions and thoughts. But I have taken some help from Gita on that a long time back. I was remembering a verse actually, where I don't know the exact verse from Gita, but I think that it means do it's action in action and inaction in action, something like that. What that means is, uh, we always will be involved in karma, right? Since we got this body, we cannot run beyond it, run without it. But what is the most important thing is, in whatever you are doing in action, you have your complete involvement. You do it with your full heart and soul in whatever action you are doing, that gives, that bears good fruits sometime in the future. So you do action in whatever you are doing with full involvement, but at the same time you step back and you're detached from the results, detached from the outcomes. And when we follow that, in everything that we do, we will see that uh, there is we are creating a space between our action and our journey, our inner soul. We always have to do action, but we are always being detached, which I think comes with practice. But there is another thing that I learned in Vihangam Yoga, which is when in satsangs we've heard about three types of karma. I think that's what it comes more into play when we are trying to understand what we need to do in our lives. Basically, like Vijayji and others have mentioned, vikarma. We always have to move into the direction of vikarma, which is seva, satsang, sadhana. So the more and more we find our spaces in our life to do those through three things, we will be able to manage our karma that we are already doing, but we are also building up on vikarma, which is seva, satsang, and sadhana. So I think this is how I understand and I try to follow. And when I said about involvement, in other words, it is, Sant Shri says the same thing in just a little different way when he says we need to be more awakened and be in the present moment. And, we can understand that, in our own terminology. And for me, I may not remember how to be awakened. I may not remember how to be in the present moment, but complete involvement is something that resonates with my self character. So I try to tend to remember that more, that I need to be involved in whatever I'm doing to the best of my ability. And that not only gives me the satisfaction, but it will also bear good fruits sometime in the future. So that's how I perceive it. If anything, if I said something wrong, I apologize, and please feel free to correct it, Srirangji and Sudhanshuji. Thank you.
There's one thing I would like to add, Monica ji, in when you said about the see work in no work and no work in work, is that there's one other element that goes there. One is to detach from the fruits of the work, but the other thing which Bhagavad Gita is trying to make us aware is that see no work in work. That means even though you are doing the work, but see that you're not working, because sometimes you may have even ego, subtle ego, for being a good worker. So it is saying that don't even see that that's a work. And when he's saying that when you see work in no work, that means when you're not doing any work, then you still see work, that you have a lot of work that you are doing. You're surrendering your man, tan, dhan. So it's very deep, actually, Gita, and the way to understand Gita is from is by listening, because reading is it's like we always miss the multi-layered depth. It's not a one-layer depth; it's a multi-layered depth. Same for Swarved also. So that's why we have to actually listen to the Vani and Satsang and Swadhyaya, and then we begin to kind of peel the onion on that. So at every couplet, they're talking about how do we actually, while we are doing all this work, we should not have that aham also. Because the aham can happen through work, through knowledge, even through bhakti, everything. And that is the most subtlest thing that one has to constantly remind. And that is why Sharanangat is the only way to actually get away from that. So that is what I have kind of comprehended so far. So just want to make sure that that's
Yes.
I think the purpose for the satsang, where we can actually really share. We are not saying that I know it. That's why I'm telling. We are sharing that this is what we have comprehended. So that way we can really share the depth, multi-layered depth. That is the profoundness of. That's why we call it science, actually. And that's the discussion. Yeah, that always will happen. Yeah.
So Niranjanji, very good point. Actually, it made me to laugh because I'm as a person also is like always thinking, like beyond what I spoke. Sometimes you are telling your mind, today I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to work, I have to do this. Like this just goes on, right, in our minds, because we are involved with karma all the time. So how to get to that state where work is no work? I don't know yet.
So because you are looking for something,
yet,
that's why.
But one thing I'm yes, I am actually no, at the inner core, I know that it's not only me, right? Everybody is doing karma more or less than me. So nobody is sitting idle. So I know that, but on the outer surface, I have to remind myself, okay, I have to achieve all these things, only then I can go to bed and have a peaceful night, because all of these things are dependent on me for completion. While I'm thinking that, it used to give me a lot of stress years ago, and I lost my sleep. I was sleepless nights, like deprived of sleep for years. 1.5, 2 years, I had no sleep. I would count when I'm sitting at work. I would actually count on my fingers, how many hours did I really sleep last night? Like 2 hours or 3 hours or none. Like that was my condition, and I was still working. I was doing everything, but no peace of mind. But then how I came out of that was that work will never end. I have to still work, but I make sure that by the end of the day, I slow myself down. I don't have to get everything done that same day. I have to start pushing things around. I have to say this is what I have to do. But as when I joined Vihangam Yoga, that actually I'm doing the same amount of work, and I'm doing more work actually, and I don't know how it is happening. At the same time, I have peace of mind. I laugh. I have time to joke around. I'm doing everything. But one thing which I can say for sure, that no matter, even if we are not at that state where we say okay, no work, that still makes me laugh, because I don't think I will get there. I will get to that place where I can tell myself, okay, I'm working, but it's no work for me. That it's like at this point, I feel like it's like a joke, right? Because we are always working. How will I get there? I don't know. But one thing I can for sure say, that I'm enjoying everything I do. I'm enjoying, because at the back of my mind, I know I am connected with the seva, I'm connected with sadhana, I'm connected with satsang. At the back of my mind, I know my journey is going on. On the outer surface, I know I have to get things done. Some will get done, some will not get done. It's okay. But whatever I'm doing, I make sure that I'm fully involved, and I enjoy what I'm doing, and without any stress. So this is what the changes I'm seeing in myself, and I'm not in shame. I'm very much grateful for everything I've achieved, and I can tell you with guarantee that Vihangam Yoga takes you to a state where you can be in complete bliss, because I have no words. Like I said, meeting Swamiji, going to the ashram, and all these satsangs and whatever sadhana we are doing, seva we are doing, it really brings you to not be detached from your life. Actually, you get more attached to life. This is what the Vihangam Yoga can provide. If you're seeking, it really gives you true happiness in terms of your physical life as well as spiritual life. And that's what my experience is. Just wanted to share that, Niranjanji. But thank you so much. What you just said, I have also heard the same thing in Gita too. And Gita is very deep, like you said, and every discourse, every chapter in Gita is also mind blowing. It really opens up your senses, and you try to think in those terms. So thank you again, Niranjanji, and back to you, Shuramji.
One thing I just wanted to add is that we also have to apply some technique, and one of the technique which at least I try to do is whenever I say I, like I'm doing this, I'm doing that, all of these kind of things, I try to make myself at least conscious that okay, when I'm saying I, it's actually, am I really I? No, that's my mind. So I will I will coach myself to begin to allocate all of the work to the infrastructure that I possess. So my mind has just got this thing done. My mind, my body, my hand did this. All so then, like wherever we are saying that okay, I have gotten good at this, I've gotten bad at that, then it's literally not I actually. That is your mind. So we have to also begin to kind of practice that. So and the other thing I wanted to say was that the spirituality is adhyatma. So there's nothing to be achieved, just so you know. So we should never wait that something has to be like achieved. We just have to live it at that level, at the soul, at the level of the soul. Just as Swamiji, he says this, Adhyatma Atma, jiska adhar Atma hota hai. So when we implement that into ourselves and live it, then I think what happens is, then because this spirituality is about grace, then the grace falls in. Otherwise, if we are seeking that something will happen if, over time, of course that will, but that happens through grace. It's not that something that we have to acquire, like buying a house. Oh, I'm gonna elevate and buy myself a bigger house or something like that. So that's another thing that we have to implement. And the third thing is that we begin to see a part and parcel of ourselves everywhere. And that is the hardest one. And that is what will make the maximum impact on the achara, on the behavior. And then that is the ultimate prachar, just so you know. If you want to become an ultimate pracharak, then your acharan will have to communicate. So without taking too much time, I just wanted to kind of leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you, Niranjan ji and Monica ji, for wonderful conversation. So looking at the time now, we will move on to the last phase of our satsang. So we are going to conclude the session with Shanti Part. I request everyone to stay seated for the Shanti Part. In Shanti Part, we chant for the peace for everyone in this universe. May Sadgurudeo bless the entire cosmos with peace, love, and prosperity. I'll request Neha ji to recite the last 4 lines of the Shanti Part for us. Over to you, Neha ji.
जय सद्गुरुदेव। हे प्रभु शांति स्वरूप हो, शांति शांतिमय शांति, शांति शांति जन शांति हो, पूर्ण शांतिमय शांति। हे प्रभु शांति प्रदान कर, दूर हो सर्व शांति। देव सदा फल शांतिमय, शांति शांति सुख शांति। बोले सदैव भगवान की जय।
Thank you, Neha ji, for reciting Shanti Part in such a melodious and devotion-filled voice. So this concludes our session for today. I would like to thank all of you for joining and making this satsang a success. I encourage everyone to ponder upon the topic we discussed in today's session. And I would like to give special thanks to Sulbha ji, Sudhanshu ji, Neha ji, Dipti ji, Niranjan ji, Shikha ji, Monica ji for their active participation. I pray to the Sadgurudeo for peaceful and spiritual week ahead for all of us. We'll resume, we'll again meet next Sunday at 9 a.m. EST on the same Zoom link. Have a wonderful day ahead. Jai Sadgurudeo.